right, so it's just a little past 10 in the morning on Saturday. So glad the air conditioning's on in here right now. It's already 91 degrees outside. Unfortunately, some of where I need to set up is where some of these tables are and all that, so I'm going to have to work around a few things. But first things first, the major aspect of today is doing sound check. And I performed here more than a few times now, and this is actually one of my favorite venues from A, distance, because it's only a mile from my house. B, it just has an amazing aesthetic. There really are not other properties like that. Definitely has a lot of history with the Senate House being right next door. People get married on the Senate grounds. And actually, I'm going to give you a quick tour around that. Let me grab the camera and let's see what we got here. All right, so one of the first things, and you can't really tell in this shot, I'm going to place an overhead look on this as well, but this whole wall coming up to the end is angled, and it's actually angled at a fairly steep angle. So on this side, it goes outwards towards the property, where this side goes inwards. But the problem is, if you line up with the wall, you're no longer firing directly into the dance floor unless you skew your speakers. And then it has this kind of odd setup of having your speakers turned one way, your displays turned another. So I typically don't set up like that. I tried it the first time that I was here. It was okay, but I just didn't like the aesthetic as much as I wanted. So that's one of the first challenges. The second challenge, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it on this microphone, but it's very echoey in here. And part of that is material. There's steel beams. There's also steel posts with concrete bottoms. In addition, of course, you got the brick that's behind. You got glass all over. You also have some interesting sloping. So there's a set of stairs that are here, and it actually slopes downward. So you have this combination of this one angle to the right of you when you're DJing. You have all this additional materials for things to bounce off of. The concrete is pretty shiny, and as I said, I love this venue. It is absolutely amazing, but it does have some acoustic challenges to get past. Now, typically, the couple will be sitting in this area, and that also adds some interesting characteristics for feedback, especially with guests that don't know how to hold the mic right, even after you've instructed them. With all the echo that's going on in here, with the way the speakers are positioned, the distance, the materials, it tends to lend for a lot more feedback than what you would typically face. Again, today is a lot of experimentation. I've got lots of time. The wedding is not till 5:30. So I'm going to load all my stuff in and just do lots of different types of placement to see ultimately what kind of sound I can produce from different placement, different timing, different EQ curves, the works. So let's get to this. So it's 4:10, so about an hour 20 away from ceremony starting. Everything's completely set up now. I was able to get my speakers kind of paired up exactly where I wanted. So now the bass is kind of deflecting back into the dance floor as opposed to kind of being drawn completely out to the side. I think that's where some of the bass was getting lost before. As you see, live entertainment's all nicely worked in as well. And like I said, I love Center Garage. I love the way this whole place is set up. This has a real unique vibe to it. As you can tell, they have a combination of plain wood tables with cloth tables as well. Where I like the choice of linens and how they kind of mix and match everything. I think today is going to be a pretty damn good day.
Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys.
Everybody put your hands together again for Lindsay and Nik.
Bring me your heart. get down. Get down, girl, go ahead, get down.
Copping it, watching it, about to go and get some compliments. Passing up on those moccasins, someone else has been walking
The devil's on his way.
In the city breaking and everybody shaking and they're staying alive, staying alive.
Put your hands together for Lindsay and Nik one more time.
Tonight was honestly an incredible night. And it was the first time I've actually done like a real full pop punk emo set for basically 30 minutes to end the night. The energy was just tremendous. The energy throughout for the whole night was great. I was also able to really hone in on my subs, working very well within the venue by switching the location, putting it on axis against the wall itself. It was rattling the windows, so the bass definitely went much farther than it had in the past, and so I'm really now able to tune things in. My mics are like really solid, and part of that was because of some speaker placement. I've got to adjust it just a little bit, and that made all the world of difference within it. What can I say? I'm going to start to decompress some and head into Sunday. Have a great night, guys.